Hey, racquetball friends and family, day 3 of the stay-at-home battle is complete. And let me tell you, it was an awesome day. You're going to see that in the footage. I really suggest you should watch these athletes compete because today was moving day. The top 4 teams will now go to the semifinals. And what a competition it's been. These athletes have been tremendous. The 4 teams that are going are great. The 4 teams that didn't make it, well, hey, hopefully we don't have to do this again another time because that would mean we're inside for way too long. But thank you to all you athletes that competed. Of course, all the fans that continue to share this. Hey, watch the leg lifts. Wow, what an amazing competition. You can feel their passion. You can feel the burn. You're going to feel like you're watching a real good sporting event. So enjoy, stay home, be safe. We're almost done with this. We are racquetball.
Lilo and Stitch. Right off the bat, wall taps, all 3 of them had weirdness going on. Kaylani, the tightest little spot possible. I think she was literally half a butt cheek on a couch while she was doing it. She did pretty good for having that be the case. And she's pretty focused. She's always smiling. She's really, really looks really friendly. So she's having fun. You can see that. Lalo was upstairs. Looked like a slick surface as well. I was thinking this ball could get away from them and go down the stairs, but she would have had to fly downstairs and grab it, come back up. That would have been funny too. Maybe some stairs would be fun to watch. I know we can't really get that to be one situation. So sticking with what we're talking about, Lala was average again with that today, in my opinion. Holly, didn't even see her go at first. I think she had to do it post show, which is par for the course right now for Holly, unfortunately. I really like Holly. We all do. But not her best performance here in 2020. Maybe she'll come back strong next time we're on full quarantine. Or, hey, maybe she needs to be a part of like some kind of collegiate challenge. That might be better.
Yeah, I mean, you got me there, buddy. That's good. There's a lot of humor, that we have and share together. Tiempo. 5 segundos. Vamos. What do you got for 2.5 Mexicans today?
Well, let me find them here on my notes here. Yeah, 2.5 Mexicans. What a day. What a great day for them. I don't think it gets them into the semis because I think they're coming from too far behind to get that done. But with the taps, Jessica and Andre look ready this morning. Andre was great at it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Andre's final score was on that because for a second there, it looked like I was in the Matrix just watching that. It looked like 3 balls going at once on the video. It was crazy how fast he could get that going. Jessica was solid as well. Diaz, same kind of preparation situation, not the greatest outdoor ball wall situation going on. I know exactly where he was at, having been to his house so much that there's no real good locations nearby for him, so it's tough. And his house doesn't set up well for that. He maybe needed a little help from Mama Diaz today or somebody in the family, but that wasn't the case. Leg lifts for the Parias, awesome. That was kind of fun to listen to too, listening to him fight through it. Jessica, fantastically done. Andre, well done as well. Jose Diaz, just kind of what we expected with you. Why are you laughing so much? Anyways, Diaz got Diaz got through it well. You were thinking maybe less than 3 minutes for him on the text. I was thinking 3s max, and he went over. So I texted him right after and said, well done, man. I'm proud of you for this one because you ended strong. Strongest day he had, I believe. And they did well. They just had too far to come back from. So I don't think they're going to go through.
Keep it up. You're good. I know. Just fight through the pain. You got it. Keep going. You got it. You got it.
Hands out.
Hands out. Don't forget to breathe.
Time.
Come on.
Come on, come on, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Come on. Come on. 10 more seconds, come on.
How about 2 more minutes?
That's it, up. Come on, come on. You're at 3:45, keep it up.
Time.
You're past 4 minutes, I like too.
Pretty good job from the team today. Not nothing not the best, but definitely nowhere near the worst. Probably upper and higher middle section of it, with Adam going for 411 and really struggling and grinding. Only 3? I thought he had 411. Oh, he third place. Okay, yeah, I was gonna
Third
say,
of
yeah.
all the men.
Yeah, he had looked like he had some good coaching from his from a girlfriend there. She was kind of taking over the show for a second there, and then she realized, this is Adam's thing, and let him struggle a little without you talking the whole time. But I do think she did some good coaching there. Wayne, he was better in this competition and this portion of the competition. You could see he fought for a while, and not sure which he comes in, probably right in the middle of the pack for the guys. Yeah, I see there at 9th. But you could see he really tried to do his best on that one. He had a nice setting there on a balcony, and looked like his girl was helping him pretty good there on that one and pushing him through. Erica, man, I didn't think she was going to be that great at this. She's very strong, and she ended up taking third out of all the ladies today, 428, and that's solid right there. She's a really, really strong young player here, and it's going to be interesting to see her when she starts peaking at 27, 28, 29, 30 years old, how real strong she is, and if racquetball is a priority in her life. I think she'll be training hard for quite a while, and she'll be someone to watch out for in the tour.
Eso. Siga. Siga. Sube un poquito, todavía. No baje.
Activity today. Really tough to tell. Tough to tell. I know he's having to rearrange some furniture each time he does a setup here, and so being quarantined, you got to go. You got to make with what you got. You got to do what you can do to set up for the moment. Paula was ready today, big time. I thought she was quick on the wall taps. I thought she had a perfect little location. Interesting if the ball would have got away from her because she had grass and it wasn't just flat, even grass that the ball was going to stop. It could have got away. She just didn't let it get away much. I think she maybe missed 2 balls in 2 attempts. So she was really solid. Nice coaching from the mom there as well. Nice help from the mom. Leg lifts, Andres 305. It's kind of like could do better than that. Again, expected a little bit more from him there, but it's also not very bad at all. You're over 3 minutes at least. Rocky 355 seems about right for a 40-plus-year-old. 6th place overall, yeah, seems about right. Even though he's just such a beast and so strong, it's could help to be 20 years younger for him on that one. That would have been nice. Paula, she again by far the MVP. 2nd overall, 446, totally zenned out early on. The whole time really didn't even look like she ever got to a major struggle before she stopped. But you could tell she was grinding. She just really has a good mentality for the breathing today and really focused and stayed calm. And that was pretty fun to watch. Awesome setting. Good job, Paola. Say one more thing about them. With Andres and Rocky putting up what we think are slightly above average numbers for them, will that cost them in the season later on here? And you'll reveal that when it's time. But, man, it could be interesting if that slipped them out of a certain seeding spot that then puts them in a lower seed, feeding into maybe a number 1 seed. So that could cost them and hurt them a little bit there and make it a tougher semi than maybe possible, maybe necessary.
Yeah.
I'm going out my mind. Give me some directions to get to you. To get to you, ain't gonna waste my time. I know that we got connection. I think about you. You're on my mind. On my mind. On my mind. Yeah, I'm going out of my mind. Out of my mind. Out of my mind. Yeah. For you, my love. You drive me crazy. Tell me what to do.
Hands out, Manos.
I'm on my knees, yeah, I am begging you.
Time.
I'll break the rules if you will get me to.
Motherfucker.
Get the horn.
Right. Dropped a little today. Not as great a day in some senses, but Maria Pa not part of that. She's solid once again. Wall taps, you and I had talked about her before. Like, is she quality enough with the racket control to do it well? And it was pretty good. I don't think it'll come in too crazy, but I think she'll be right there, middle of the pack. And lefty, our second lefty, just a good start for her to the day. I don't know if you noticed that cool line in the background that she has some kind of lion painting there. Definitely looked cool. Had my eyes on that a little bit too. It's kind of hard to focus on both. Jake, cool setting once again. Batting the ball off the side of the log cabin there that he's living in all by himself out in isolation.
I think he built that wall, Ellie. I think he built that wall for this event. I'm not kidding.
In about 6 hours. No problem at all. He did pretty good on that, pretty quick, good form, really strong stance, really consistent with his ball contact location on the wall. Bobby, same thing for the most part, sweatpants, maybe a little tight, can you move around after you drop the ball and it gets away from you? Or are you getting a little tight there, a little snug on the sweaties? But he's Bobby's kind of showcasing his body. Bobby's showcasing Bobby throughout this thing in some way or another, kind of like Camacho is a little bit too. Leg lifts, Maria Pa, strongest person in this competition, certainly from the female side, maybe overall even right up there with Jake in terms of just brute strength. And I'm not even talking about results and activities. She's showing that more so than anybody. 530. I mean, that's great. That's great. Little different setting today, I think. So that's nice. I wrote here, she's out of jail. So that must be a better setting than the last ones I've been talking about for the lifts for Jake. I thought he did pretty well. You know, lots of breathing later on. Some of that I think is for us just a little bit because we know he knows we all want him to show his personality. So he extends it just enough for us to really, really enjoy it, which we all do. I love hearing some of the cursing at the end. Personally, I don't know why I like that so much. I shouldn't, but I do. And then Bobby, kind of same thing. You know, he's, trying to adjust to the struggle real early on, started talking to himself, trying to motivate himself. But in the end, both of those guys were less than 3 minutes on the lifts. So I'm not that impressed. Bobby, Diaz whooped that ass when it came to the leg lifts. And how does that feel? Not good. You know that's true. Diaz. Good job, Diaz. But they had more. Both of the guys had more in them today for the leg lifts, and maybe it cost them a seeding as well that they could have attained.
Time.
Alrighty, ready to rock on them. Yeah, first of all, with Maria Jose, I think she had the advantage over everyone with the court. That seems really obvious. We don't have her numbers yet, and it didn't look like it was anything really different from a lot of the others. So it's not something where you can just extend yourself in front of everyone else and just be so much greater than everyone else unless you have some unbelievable hands and speed on that. And we'll get to that later because that does happen later in the show. But she was consistent on the racket touches. Camacho and Londa, both consistent for the most part. I thought Camacho was a little more variety involved, whereas Londa was kind of stoic in his approach, just got in his stance and hit consistently in the same spot. Ball came back to his racket, not many drops, not many restarts. So they did well on that. The lifts, well, they all look good. They all look good in it. And I thought they were going to go a little longer than they did each time because they look strong. I mean, they just, Maria's probably tired from yesterday. She had a battle yesterday with that wall sit, and I think it got her a little bit. And I know she's training outside of that. Camacho looked cool, man. Camacho was chilling when it came to the leg lifts. He looked like he was at the beach in Costa Rica somewhere, just enjoying a little workout part of his day. The music sounded nice. I mean, all the surrounding was great, and he was off to a good start. But in the end, it was only 236 on the lift. So he just couldn't fight through that initial major pain and get into the depths and the deep water. Londa, he's the MVP of that team for sure today, and 346 on the lifts, did really solid, just kind of consistent like he is. Also gives you a little insight into our past team that we talked about, Diaz being pretty good today. But Flonda's at basically that same time frame. It's interesting. You start comparing players and where you think they should be at this stage in the game. So not a bad day for Latinos. I'm not sure that's going to get them in, though.
Higher. Higher, higher.
Oh,
Time.
dude. Tony, your
Way to
chicken.
suffer.
I wish I had a chicken to encourage me. That was something.
Come out to the farm and my chickens can cheer you on.
The cheering chickens.
Team amazing. The name sounds fitting at this point, Ellie.
Yeah, well put together team. They I know they were early in on this competition, and makes a lot of sense now after having seen 5 activities. Really solid, consistent day all the way around. For starters, Cheryl's ball tap, pretty good. Not bad, nothing crazy great, nothing bad at all, just really consistent. Charlie and Tony on the ball tap. We'll take it to another level. Those dudes decided to go overhead, 1 foot forward, overhead, quick, close to the wall, and they both executed really well. Tells me neither one of them has a shoulder problem going on, that's for sure, because they're able to just do that quickly, because you got to pop it and you got to be ready up in the shoulder there. If you miss that, it's going farther away from you. And they both executed. I think you're able to pop it on the forehand side just a little quicker with that overhead, kind of similar to a backhand, and you still have a split second, but it is above your head, so it's not easy to do. So furthermore, they just made it look kind of cool, and they were the only 2 that did it, so cheers to them on that. Leg lifts, Cheryl, very good again, 346, solid once again for her. Another great performance and great day for her. Charlie and Tony over 4 minutes. Charlie at 420, that's fitting, totally fitting number there. And looked zenned out the whole time. He's got his wife, who is a yoga instructor for sure. I know she knows her stuff with the yoga too. really kind of feeding him the good, motivational, very calming words. I thought that was well prepared. Charlie's been prepared the whole time. Marcelo might have took over the MVP a little bit from him just because I'm kind of emotional about that right now. But Charlie, in my back of my mind, I know Charlie is the real MVP right now when it comes to this team. And Tony did his part today with 402. I had to go to the restroom for a second. I missed the Roosters cockadoodling, apparently. My wife and daughter were talking about it and they weren't cracking up, but they were also like confused a little bit. They were just like dumbfounded by it a little. So I really can't wait to watch the replay on that.
Yeah,
Cockadoodle-doo.
From Bolivia, Uzma Kappa.
Yeah, absolutely. Valeria with the wall taps, nothing really I'm going to talk too much about. It was average, nothing special. She did okay. She didn't do great. I'm sure it'll come in middle to lower end of the pack there for the ladies and the guys too, for that matter. Mario, I thought he was pretty steady with that. Low forehand, quick. He was choking up on that racket pretty significantly, which allows you to kind of snap it a little quicker for this particular type of drill. So he did good, went low. Second try started off, but then realized his first try was the good one to go with. Marcelo Vargas was lightning fast with the hands on the racket taps. He was ready completely. Good hallway setup, super low contact spot, just like Mario. And I think they communicated about it before they went and tried to come up with the best way to do it, maybe practiced a little bit. So that was well done. They were really prepared today. Valeria, this is where she shined. Now, I know it's only 314, but she was struggling from the moment she started. So the 314 was hell the whole time on her. And you could see her and you could hear her having to grind it away and struggling through it. And she fought through. When you start yelling out and, you're really breathing hard and you're making groans and doing all that, that means, you're at the end of your limits. It's almost time to give up there when you're suffering like that. And she fought through that for over a minute and a half, 2 minutes of that kind of stuff. So I was really impressed with that type of situation. And same thing for Mario, 336, kind of in that average range. I thought he did what he should be able to do with his body type, not overly muscular, crazy. Yeah, right in the middle of the pack for the guys. Marcelo Vargas, he changed the game today with that number that he put up, 549, I believe it is, officially on the leg lifts, and just looks so strong doing it. You made a comment early on, a minute into it on text, like he's getting stronger, not weaker within a couple of minutes. I'm like, yeah, it does look like that. I agreed 100% on that. And I didn't answer you back on the text because I can't watch when I'm answering the text because I'm on my phone for this. And I just stayed there glued to him the whole time and was really, really excited to see how well he did. He's definitely the most underdog out of this batch. So, as somebody who's watching this closely with you, I'm falling in love with this character right here. And I want to watch him play racquetball now. I had never even heard of him before or paid attention. The music came out with Eminem right off the bat. He had a mixtape ready to go for this. That's total preparation right there. I thought it was just going to be straight Eminem, you only got one chance. But then they went to another song real quick. I'm like, the mixtape ready to go. This is old school. This is like the 80s and 90s making a mixtape.
Finals. We're going to try to actually post the entire event. Marcelo Vargas, Ellie, he was the first one to message me. Imagine that, right? He's the first guy. I didn't know who he was, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you and I are both big fans. I saw today we're commenting on his social media posts. It's pretty cool. He throws up a 549. He looks, when you're playing or you're competing, you're sizing up your opponent. And I was sizing him up from, another country, but he looked like he was getting stronger. Like I was a little intimidated, and I wasn't even doing the leg lift. I was like, hey, man, I'm glad I'm not out there today. Marcelo, absolutely tremendous. Well done. Keep fighting. I'll tell you right now what puts these guys into the semis as opposed to a lot of other great athletes and teams. They were prepared, and I'm taking your word, to suffer. They didn't mind suffering and working hard. And they came in today knowing how close this race was. And they knew they were out of the top 4. And you could see right from the get-go, all 3 of them were locked in, focused. They had a goal. They made a decision. And they went out and kicked everybody's ass. And I don't mean because they finished first, second, or third. But as a team, they did exactly what they needed to do, better than anybody else. They deserve to be in the semis. But so we're set up now for the semifinals, and we're still waiting for the final results. But Ellie, I got to ask you, if we did know, would you change your pick today? Who would you pick to win this event starting again right now?
Well, it all depends on Rocky Carson right now for me. I just today I didn't feel like he was as into it as the first day, and yesterday being somewhere in between the two. So if I know Rocky's committed, I'll stick with my pick because Powell is not doing anything to disappoint in that regards. And I think Andres can still be better than he's been so far. And he's maybe the wild card there, but right now the important part is Rocky. So I picked Rocky initially early on to take first, with the Beasts and Horns getting second. If I'm smart and playing, betting money and stuff on it, you'd have to kind of go Team Amazing for how well they've been doing throughout the 5 activities. And maybe Beasts and Horns barely second place off that one. But the sleeper is what everyone's going to be rooting for, and certainly who I'm now pulling for to do really well. And it won't be that surprising. The Bolivians with Uzma Kappa, if they win it, it will not surprise me at all. And it's not just because of Marcelo. It has a lot to do with him.